the segment of the week where I pretend I'm really happy, but I'm burning inside. Come on, AJ, he's the best build fighter of all time. But Golden Boy, who have you got left? Canelo's gone. He hates you. He sued you. Jaime Munguia, you pretend you represent him. You don't. He's gone to Top Rank. Virgil Ortiz sold a couple of thousand tickets and Ryan Garcia's banned. And now you're being sued again by Haney. Have a great day.
The tension between Oscar De La Hoya and Eddie Hearn has been brewing for years, evolving into one of boxing's most colorful rivalries. Their feud is marked by sharp jabs, sarcastic remarks, and a fierce competition to dominate the sport. Oscar often takes the swing with his signature sarcasm. After Hearn had a face-off with Haney at Wembley, De La Hoya wasted no time mocking the British promoter.
11 to Frank Warren this year.
Bruh.
This continues the Matchroom curse, meaning if you sign with Matchroom, you're either guaranteed to lose or get injured. To make matters worse, Eddie Hearn faced off with his old buddy Haney in the crowd at Wembley. Eddie, you can't build a fighter to save your life.
Bruh.
Anthony Joshua had the world at his fingertips, and you found a way to fumble his career.
The rivalry isn't just about fighters, it's about two contrasting philosophies. When Dana White praised Hearn and hinted at a potential collaboration, Oscar jumped in with biting skepticism. If Dana thinks he can join boxing that easily, he better be ready to pay fighters real money, De La Hoya jabbed. This isn't the UFC. He joked about not being invited to Dana's circle jerk with Hearn, quickly bringing the UFC head back to reality. Eddie Hearn views De La Hoya's remarks as a reflection of his bitterness and internal struggle, particularly after losing Canelo Alvarez and Jaime Munguia, two of his top fighters. He also pointed out that Ryan Garcia is sidelined for the rest of the year, and that Virgil Ortiz Jr.'s recent fight against Serhii Bohachuk in Las Vegas failed to draw a significant crowd. According to Hearn, De La Hoya missed another opportunity to promote his own fighters from Golden Boy, instead using his platform to criticize other promoters and their athletes. Commenting on De La Hoya's behavior, Hearn told The Stomping Grounds, "He's just a weird guy, but we all need weird in our lives. I don't like people who pretend they're happy, but are actually burning inside." He emphasized De La Hoya's current situation, stating, "He's lost all his fighters, and I think he's hurting. Canelo is obviously gone. Jaime Munguia, he pretends that he hasn't gone, but he's gone to Top Rank. Virgil Ortiz, you saw his crowd against Bohachuk. Ryan Garcia is out for a year. Golden Boy is done." Despite Hearn's criticisms, he also acknowledged De La Hoya's personality, stating, "He's still a character. I don't take it too seriously either about what he says. I just think he's got a lot of demons, Oscar. I just hope he's okay." When he says, "Look at AJ, he dropped. He doesn't know how to build fighters. AJ is probably the best built fighter of our generation. Oscar is Oscar." It's another week of not talking about his fighters, who are all basically irrelevant. One of the most heated moments in this rivalry came when De La Hoya criticized Hearn's top fighter, or Canelo Alvarez, for no loyalty after Canelo left Golden Boy Promotions for Matchroom Boxing. This moment turned particularly dramatic when De La Hoya and Canelo faced off at a press conference, and security had to separate them after De La Hoya demanded Canelo put some respect on his name. In an interview with The Breakfast Club, De La Hoya blasted Canelo's decision to leave, aiming his frustration at Hearn. He talks about loyalty, but this guy jumps from promoter to promoter. What kind of loyalty is that? De La Hoya said. This exchange adds to the ongoing feud between Hearn and De La Hoya, who have long clashed over their differing approaches to the boxing business. With Canelo now fighting under Hearn's promotion and a deal with Al Haymon's Premier Boxing Champions, the rivalry between the two promoters seems far from settling down. When Eddie Hearn, the head of Matchroom Boxing, made his ambitious entry into the US market with a lucrative deal through dazn, tensions immediately began to rise. His aggressive strategy to sign top American fighters was perceived as a direct challenge to established promoters, most notably Oscar De La Hoya and his Golden Boy Promotions. De La Hoya did not hold back in his public criticism, openly questioning Hearn's approach and implying that the British promoter lacked a true understanding of the complexities within the US boxing scene.
Doesn't know how to, has no clue what to do in the US. I think his name is Hearn or something.
Oh, Thomas Hearn?
Yeah, Thomas Hearn. Thomas Hearn, stay in the UK, promote your fights. You have no clue what you're doing in the US. DAZN's doing the right thing by sticking with Golden Boys.
Hearn's ambition didn't stop there. He took to social media to express his views on Oscar's discontent with Matchroom's success, saying, "From packing stadiums to locking down TV deals worldwide, we're dominating the scene. Oscar just can't stand it."
Something you've done. He watches those videos and goes, he's so annoying. Oscar De La Hoya is an all-time great. He doesn't like it on his toes. He hates the fact that I'm here. He hates the fact that we're the best promoters in the UK. He hates the fact that we're selling out stadiums. He hates the fact that our stable is unbelievable. He hates the fact that we have TV deals all around the world.
Their rivalry even delved into personal jabs. Hearn humorously claimed to be the most athletic promoter, taking a dig at Oscar, who he joked bought himself some abs. Hearn entertained the idea of purchasing abs, pecs, and lats for himself, before dismissing it as the worst decision eves.
The junior, maybe like an Oscar De La Hoya, are you the most athletic promoter?
Nah. Yeah, but Oscar De La Hoya bought himself some abs. That's a cheat code. Listen, I could buy myself some abs and some pecs and some lats, but I'm trying to get it naturally. Probably the worst mistake I could ever make. Maybe I should just go and buy them.
Negotiations over top talent became a major battleground between Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya, especially when it involved rising star Ryan Garcia. Hearn, known for his aggressive approach, attempted to lure Garcia to Matchroom Boxing, viewing him as a key asset for strengthening his presence in the U.S. market. Sensing the threat, De La Hoya immediately went on the offensive, making public declarations to secure his fighter and accusing Hearn of poaching. He emphasized the loyalty Golden Boy Promotions offered, subtly implying that Hearn's interest was purely opportunistic. Ryan Garcia is part of the Golden Boy family, De La Hoya asserted, pushing back against the idea that Garcia would leave for Matchroom's supposed greener pastures. This clash quickly turned into a public spectacle, with both promoters leveraging social media, interviews, and press conferences to make their cases. Hearn implied that fighters under Golden Boy were dissatisfied, highlighting Matchroom's global success as a more appealing option. De La Hoya dismissed Hearn's efforts as blatant interference, firing back on Twitter, "Stay in your lane, Eddie. Golden Boy knows how to build stars." The back and forth grew increasingly personal, each side questioning the other's competency. The rivalry between Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya reached a new high following Ryan Garcia's victory over dazn. The social media clash began when Hearn, head of Matchroom Boxing, publicly supported Haney after his first defeat in 32 fights. "The road is long. This young man will come back stronger than ever," Hearn wrote on Instagram, offering words of encouragement to Haney. Seizing the opportunity, De La Hoya, leader of Golden Boy Promotions, fired back with a sharp comment, questioning Hearn's knowledge of the sport. "Obviously, you've never laced up your gloves, just like Don King and the rest. You don't know what it's like to fight inside a ring. Guess what? I do, and that beating will last a while," he quipped, adding a smiley face emoji to drive his point home. But Oscar didn't stop there. Continuing to engage on Hearn's social media, he suggested that Hearn stick to promoting in the UK, implying that he was out of his depth in the US boxing scene. "Eddie, for the sake of British boxing, just stay in the UK and promote. Leave the real promoters in the US market where boxing matters," De La Hoya remarked. He didn't miss the chance to take a jab at Hearn's efforts, saying, "You had your chance wasting hundreds of millions of dollars building nothing in America. Not one to back down." Hearn fired back, accusing De La Hoya of acting like a crazed fan. Highlighting his own success, he replied, "Oscar De La Hoya, for real, are you okay? You're stalking me like a crazed fan. You got a great win on Saturday, but I consume your mind 24/7. He went on to emphasize his global achievements, stating, "I'm a global promoter with 18 world champions. You have 4. I have big plans to work with everyone to grow the sport globally and have fantastic talent in the US market. I really wish you all the best and hope you can enjoy what you do." Amid all the animosity, there were moments when both men acknowledged the possibility of working together. During an interview with Chris Mannix, both Hearn and De La Hoya reflected on the potential benefits of cooperation for the betterment of boxing. Hearn had emphasized the importance of cooperation among promoters, reflecting on how collaborations between ESPN and dazn had recently made it easier to organize fights across different broadcasters. Hearn had expressed, "There should have been no barriers, particularly with us on the same network. I had felt in boxing that with the opening of platforms, it became easier to make fights. But it was all down to personal relationships. When there was peace, it had been good for the sport." De La Hoya, looking back on their early days, had admitted he initially came out swinging, but eventually agreed with Hearn's sentiment. He had emphasized that making the right fights at the right time had been key to Golden Boy Promotions' success over 22 years. De La Hoya had added, "If Eddie had fighters that made sense for Golden Boy, we had been open to making those fights happen on dazn. Sharing the same platform, we should have been working together more often." Hearn had also stressed the broader goal of growing the sport, recalling his collaboration with Frank Warren, another former rival, in staging events in Saudi Arabia. "We had tried to build the profile of everything, our fighters, dazn, and even my own profile," Hearn had said, acknowledging that working together had been more enjoyable than anticipated. He had emphasized the importance of promoters and platforms working in unison to overcome the barriers preventing major fights from taking place. De La Hoya had echoed these views, asserting that top fighters had always been willing to face each other, but it had been up to promoters and networks to unite and make these bouts a reality. Reflecting on his years in the sport, De La Hoya had noted that while fighters had become more focused on the financial aspect, collaborations between promoters had proven to deliver better results for both fighters and the sport. That's it for today's deep dive into the ongoing rivalry between Oscar De La Hoya and Eddie Hearn. This feud has certainly added a new level of drama to the boxing world, and it doesn't seem like it's slowing down anytime soon. What do you think? Will this rivalry ever come to an end, or is it just heating up? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to give us a like, subscribe for more boxing content, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.